Hello, welcome to Pepper's Echo. My name's Andre, and I am late. I'm really, really sorry, guys. I do apologize profusely. Welcome to Pepper's Echo. And let me just kill that there, and then I can actually see the chats, because then I can see when my name's in the chat. But I do apologize profusely, thoroughly, hectically. I've always got one of those days. I can't say that anymore to you guys. I'm busy taking a look through the messages. Welcome, Fiona Waitulu Buzzy. How is my favorite lady doing? And then Fiona says, please visit her YouTube channel. Yes, I do have you up here on Wacha Wachin. Let me just do the quick share. I'm even a little bit late there. But entire screen, there we go. Wacha Wachin. Don't forget to subscribe to White Zulu. You will see her. Oh, geez, I should probably take that out of the picture. There we go. Right out. You will see her books. When is your latest one on? Let's take a look here quickly. Whammo, latest one was 2 hours ago. Chapter 51, Ski School and Bad Habits. Don't think Hendo was too wrong with that naughty girl syndrome, hey? There we go, back again. But yeah, welcome White Zulu, Buzzy, White Zulu, over 20 years. Thanks, let's awesome have you back. Be sure, yeah, let's be sure to smash the like button. Even though I have been late, you can still like me. Thank you very much indeed. And my wife is here. Hello, Ina. Before me. Arbot, our favorite 6 Michelin chef. How are you keeping? Today I did not do school, but I did do a lunch that we went to a place called Pepper Lunch. I'm sure Arbot makes better food, but still, here we go. Hendo, how's it going? I haven't done the beer thing yet either. Still on the Coke, dude. But yeah, there we go. Ina, hello, Buzzy, Arbot, Hendo, White Zulu, Arbot. I'm trying to catch up with everything there, and it's just like, totally late. Let me see. I'm also feeling pop and spending the day in bed. You want to have what? Pop and kinds. Arbot can sort you out there. There we go. Arbot says, I've made chili sauce today. Did the laundry and the dishes. My goodness me, you are any ladies. Debbie, how are you today? Fantastic. Always good to see you. Wow, phenomenal. Hendo. No. What Zulu put that on mute? Yeah. We've got Debbie, good vibes, Debbie, Arbot, Hendo, Alf Ruwant. Oh, jeez, that reminds me. I have almost forgotten. And it's just going to have to be a quick one, because I did forget. But luckily, I picked it up somewhere along the line. And I'm probably going to get a strike for that. Geez, going to take this one. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Okay, this one, Alpha Want, is for the wife. Just hold a second. Hold a second. I need to do the share with screen. Stop sharing. Share. I hope I'm going to get audio here as well, because the last time I tried to share a screen, no audio came through. Let's kill that. Pop that in there. And this is for Alfred's wife. No. Let's try do better. Let's try again. Sorry, Alfred. Sorry, Auntie Alfred. I can't hear anything coming from there. Can anybody hear any? Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, for one, that one was for the Wi-Fi. Sorry, that was nearly slipped my mind. I just sort of picked it up on the right tail end there. Sorry about that, but that was, I think it's your wife, Alfred. If it's not your wife and it's your girlfriend, apologize to your wife. But I think it was for your wife. So yeah, it was your wife's birthday on the 20th, if I'm not mistaken. Happy birthday, Mrs. Alfred. You have a magic husband, and I'm sure he wore those shorts for you on the 20th. Yeah, but yeah, I do apologize if that was ever so much a little bit rushed. I'm a little bit off the what's the name, the tracks there as well. But yeah, so before I actually just go into talking a biggest load of rubbish and actually showing you all kinds of nonsense, let's take a look at Wacha Wachin. Don't forget the Uncle Chris. No, not the uncle. The Colonel, retired Colonel Uncle Chris Wyatt. There we go. He has his own show which tells you all about South Africa. And he can speak net 'n klein bietjie Afrikaans, but he has a huge amount of knowledge on South Africa, South African politics, etc., 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 all the way from USA in Pennsylvania. Don't forget to hop over to Colonel Chris Wyatt on Chris Wyatt, and you can catch him almost all the time because he practically streams consistently. I don't know how he keeps it up. He's got a terribly high stamina there. Then, of course, if you enjoy your rugby, Chris Wyatt has a separate channel called Rugby Ascent, which you can actually tune into during your rugby matches and that as well. You will be able to find that he is doing commentation. He isn't scalping the matches, so you won't get to see them, but you can actually get the commentation from him. And there you'll also see a lot of really good interviews, views, and a couple of extra, should I say, comments on there. And then our main man from the Bay, boom. There we go. Ronaldo Host. Yay! Boykie from the Bay. Our tech man, Ronaldo Host. Don't forget, I think he's been putting out a heck of a lot of videos. I haven't even got through them at the moment. I've been busy. We started with exams and that, and speaking and talking IGCSE exams, and got them loaded up, and I'm flying straight into checkpoint exams and then into Cambridge exams. And for the next 2 months, you are going to find one really unhappy little chappie sitting in front of you, not knowing what to say. And then, of course, don't forget our very own beautiful lady in waiting, our absolutely stunning, honest lady, Fiona White Zulu. Pop over to White Zulu, and she's already got 329 subscribers. Let's get that subscribers doubled up. She has 58 videos, with the latest one saying chapter 51. 2 hours ago it came up. Ski school and bad habits. Hendo, this one's for you. Girls with bad habits. No, I'm kidding. And if you want to know a little bit more, you pop over to the page called White Zulu Book. .com, not just www.whitezulubook.com, and there you will find Story of a Misplaced South African, and that is our very own Fiona White Zulu herself. Let's try 5 this time. What do we got on? We have wedding photos. Very classy. Very pretty young lady. There we go. Is this from the naughty side? Okay. No, anyway, we shall not go there. Let's just go back home again and stick there. But yeah, pop in there if you want to actually match the photos with the books as well as you go along. I do believe that relates, if I'm not mistaken. There's White Zulu says, hi everyone, a new chapter of my book has just been chapter 51, Ski School and Bad Habits. Bad habits. Right, yes. Bushman video, yeah, I will actually go and find that one quickly as well. I'm so all over the place at the moment today. There's the website, www.whitezulubook.com. And there you can find all the girls with bad habits. I'm kidding. It's not that kind of site. Jeez, people, what do you think of this site? I think that was it. Now, how do I make that bigger? Okay, no, wait. Buzzy sent us a little fluffy buzz. Oh, jeez, what have I done here now? Let me just close it. Aha, wait. I think I know what to do. Sent us a video. And I've just closed it again. And I've just closed it again. I'm really not working well today. I'm sorry, guys. I really am. Let's try and see if I can pull it on YouTube. There we go, Buzz. Buzzy's decided that laughter is the best medicine and she'd like to make us all smile today. So hopefully this is not mine. This is from Osalupi Pranks. And once again, it does not belong to me or anything to that effect at all. So please, if you are wanting to sue me, I don't have money. I hope the sound comes out with it as well. Share that. Pop that on there, and you can do a little bit of laughter. There we go. Let's get it going, Buzz. This is Cambodia when your rubbish starts to move. Okay, great. Yeah, where's Cameron? He usually tells me my mic's not working. That snake in the packet took 10 years off my life. What would you do if the rubbish started to move? Hello, Anna Marie. How are you? We're just taking a look at a little bit of a moving video, yeah? Unfortunately, it's the rubbish that moves and people are not looking very impressed with it. I swear, it wouldn't scare me because I walk past rubbish that moves like that most times, Yarin. I'd probably toss something on top of it. That's when you have a really good reason not to have got to school on time. It's when you've got to keep the balance on the head and move quickly. He was coming to rescue.
Sorry.
Yeah, Anna Marie says, I hope our garbage starts moving on its own. We have almost no service really here, so the dogs rip our bags up and the street looks a mess. Yeah, it wouldn't be cool if your garbage should just get up and walk by itself. It's not a guard dog, it's a garbage dog. Yeah, there we go. Pluk some om. Pluk some om. No energy. Energy is suddenly back. I'm going to zoom forward a bit because it is quite a long one. Let's tap a little bit more. Not impressed. No energy on the phone. Woohoo! Hang on, I'm busy on a call. Lay down. Yay! What do you do if something moves next to you all of a sudden like that? Stomp on it or run away? I always think, you get these like wonderful thoughts and you think, if I was there, I'd whack it. But if you were in deep thought and something moved next to you, would you really whack it? Or would you throw your wife in front of you? Happiness is, whoa, finding that the rubbish is not dead. That's the last time we put that mafia in charge of dropping a body there. It's alive. I don't know. I enjoy the looks more than what I see the fright. It's like this utter, like, disgusted look with you. That guy was expecting it. He comes from Cambodia. He knows it moves here. Once it, the only time spiders come along is when I'm on the loo and I spot those wigglers. Yeah, it's like it goes to show how much rubbish is lying around. It's become the norm in South Africa. Yeah, the tokolosh in the suitcase is brilliant. Is brilliant.
Wanna talent be the control, we the confirm, yeah. Wanna talent be the control. Mommy invited for rap like she hear people call me lit. Ever since she can't resist spraying, believing in the outcome of my gift. Produces a Tim and Kako Sambe Sambe, who gon' flows back to make a hit. Yeah, damn it, karma, why we be crab, the gin and oxygen. Yeah, Jinya meeting now, so I crap for the offering. Body stand terrorists, them my baby, I be say the boy for blow. Music up for higher surgeon, cause they told it be a me, come on. Yeah, here I can feel alright. Make mommy to feel alright. He just left mine, then we blow. Floating punch, got come back, walk here, then we through. Wanna talent be boy, we give that, yeah. Wanna talent be the control.
It hasn't even moved yet and he's not too well.
Yeah. Wanna talent be the control. Boy, we give talent be the control, yeah.
These guys aren't sure of that thing. Not a good thing there at all.
Boy, we the confess. Me need open in all night. Wipe the wrongs and fill the closet wet nights. Level now you druni and humbe fool. We go down shaku shaku inside them.
That guy's expecting it.
Wanna talent be the control. We the confirm, yeah. Wanna talent be the control. Boy, we give that, yeah. Wanna talent be the control.
Okay. Oh, I don't know. Let's get that volume down there. And don't forget, this belongs to Aussie. What? Aussie Loopy Pranks. So if you want to see more of them, Aussie Loopy Pranks, pop over to them. There's one that I would like to see. Hendo would appreciate this one. Let's pop him there. That's the one Hendo likes, I think. Now, in South Africa, you don't leave anything next to the road. Normal cars, not picking it up. Yeah, I love the running too. It looks like one of those old films. But check this out. And this is Dinkum. Wacha, they send the smallest guy. The smallest dog. Hey, little one, you go fetch it. You can't hardly carry it. But yeah, you, the littlest one, must go and fetch the suitcase. We'll take that. There we go. Thank you. And then let's check what's in that suitcase, Blue. What have we got for lunch? Whoa! The boot is open. Everybody's out of there. That's all Leon Schuster's. Let me kill it there quickly. There we go. That's Leon Schuster's taxi jokes over there. So yeah, the original Zola Bud taxi. There we go, Orbot. Most definitely so. Most definitely. Yeah, and I love the little running. As no one can do. I saw a clip the other day on people trying to do the Charlie Chaplin walk. Was really, really cool. Sorry, I've missed out a lot of the things. I don't know if anyone's now. There's no highlighting you chatting amongst each other, so that's cool. But yeah, so we looked at a lot of those. And we have new comments. And Leon Schuster, yeah, he's legend on his jokes. You know what? His actual story movies are just poof to me. You know, it's just like asshole. But his jokes and his pranks are brilliant to me. Absolutely brilliant. Hendo said it at a hard club hulle moed af. Indeed, sir. I don't know if you guys watched. I know there was one or two on for City Church today. They started a new session, but this time Pastor Carl wasn't there, and it was a chap by the name of JP. So without me moving you or giving you any, should I say, egg on this way or that way, I'd like you to give me some feedback. You can do it on the screen, on the comments, or you can mail it at PPRSECHO, peppersecho@gmail.com. Give us some feedback on what you think on the new chap there. Because I spoke to Pastor Carl. I said, Carl, where are you? He says he's just taking so much strain at the moment. I said, how can you take so much strain? You work 1 day a week on Sunday, for crying out loud. Do City Church. But anyway, apparently he's taking a lot of strain as well. So there's a new chap who's helping him out at the moment called JP. So give us your feedback. Drop it off at pprsecho@gmail.com. I have asked him to, he did say, give us some feedback. What do you think? Is everything okay? You still happy with it? Etc., etc. Because we still watch it on the Sundays here as well. And then I put it on the stream too. I put it on about 3 o'clock the afternoon when it's 10 o'clock in the morning there for you. I mean, I know it's half past 2 in the afternoon there by you. It's 7:30 at night here by me. But yeah. It's going to get later for me as well as I go. Let me just take that banner off. There we go. So, yeah. Yeah, Buzzy watched. I think there's a couple there. But, yeah, no worries, Debs. It'll still be on, so you can actually take a look. Leon Schuster, Inventus Dorp. Oh, yeah. With old, who's that other wrestler dude? Yeah. Coffin one is brilliant. Thanks, Arbot. You enjoyed the morning. Yeah, what was JP like for you? Did you enjoy him? Did you miss Coral terribly? Just give us an overall like. Is it City Church to you, or is there anything? So yeah, maybe when we rest on the Sabbath. Yeah, you know what? I have people at work which really irritate 10 living daylights out of me. That complain, why do I have to stay here so late? And when I say you stay here so late, you work from 8 o'clock until 4:30. Why can't we go at 4? If the students leave at 3:30, why do we have to sit here until 4 o'clock, 4:30? And I'm like, dude, you have no idea what it's like starting at 7 in the morning and finishing at 7 in the evening, working Saturdays, Sundays, and you're working 8 to 4:30 Monday to Friday. And it's suddenly a big problem to you. It's really, yeah. Thanks, Arbot. To me, it's the word that's being spread. Doesn't matter who. That's fantastic. I think he's trying his best. He's trying his best to do a good job. As I said, I was chatting with Carl, and he said, give us some feedback. So that's why I said, you don't have to post it on here. It's nice if you do, but otherwise just drop it to peprsEcho@gmail.com. Obviously, it's not going to be knocking anyone. Yeah, met 'n vol mond en 'n bit brood onder die arm. Definitief. I'm telling you, I've never seen so many people complaining. They have 3 weeks leave in a year, and it is a problem to them. I'm like, you know what? That's your standard leave that you get. And then you still get 7 days that you can take additionally whenever you want to. But there's definitely a week closed. But why are the kids on holiday for a month and we have to only take a week here and then we on 2 weeks over Christmas? And I'm like, I never used to see Christmas. And for the 3 weeks or the 18 days that I had, it was so hard for me to take leave. It was just not funny. So, man, for me, I'm, when you sign up for something, you know what you're signing up for. Don't go and moan about it afterwards, is Mike saying. And it's really, you know what, it's then becomes to what you surround yourself by. But yeah, plus all the public holidays. Yeah, the public holidays have been a little bit mean to us of late. They've been falling on Saturdays and Sundays. And Cambodia has decided that if it falls on a Sunday, Monday's not a public holiday. We're also bracing ourselves here for the Asian Games. The Asian Games are starting this week, end of this week, somewhere along there. And then they'll be running until about the 18th, 20th of May. So, yeah, Southeast Asian Games are going to be in Cambodia for this year. Same as the Asian Summit was here this year. Leon Schuster was in Boksburg with Mike Skitter, yeah, and Jimmy Abbott is the guy I was looking at. That he nearly got clocked by old Jimmy Abbott. Let me open up there quickly. I actually didn't do school, yeah, and I'm stopping to promise that. I will. But we did take 5 minutes out to go and have lunch today at a place called Pepper Lounge. So I don't know. Tell me if there's sound or if there's not sound. Let me know. Put it there. Put it there. So there we're bopping off to our favorite place, Sharia Point. This is where we want to come. Pepper lunch. No, it's most of the world that adds the holidays. It's just Cambodia used to have so many that they first of all cut them down, and then they decided if it falls on a Sunday, it's not Monday anymore. Most of the world actually does so. Went to this place. I don't know if it is Japanese or more Korean. Arbot, you'd be able to tell us. Ping pong Asian games. I mean, you get this in a hot plate. It's still cooking.
Salmon.
You actually cook your own food in there still. And Sapir got soup.
Sapir, small. Look
and
happy
salmon.
that you got the salmon.
Yeah, it's my lunch, Pepper's lunch. And then DVD, add some on a steaming hot plate,
Looks fairly spicy.
steak and rice or something like that. But everyone gets rice.
DVD is
If
going
you
to
didn't
go
take
for it.
rice with it, you get a bowl of rice with it. You always get rice there. Ina took a pepper steak,
And that is Ina's
and the bowl of rice. Don't forget the bowl of rice.
pepper steak. There you can chuck your own stuff on, and because the plate is still so hot, you cook it itself.
You can choose size.
And they actually got these
Hello.
like little paper rims around there so
And
you
that-
don't put your hand
Thank
down
you.
on your plate.
That looks really good. That
I
is
figured
the
they
beef
said
cube.
Australian beef
Australian
cubes,
beef
and I thought it would be nicer, but I think Ina's
Rice
was nicer
and
than
mash.
mine.
To the selfie camera to smile for yourself.
By the time I tried to move them around, as you will see there, if you just
Yeah.
under this picture is my bowl of rice, not without rice, and it's both mashed potato.
Grab
There's
all of the sticks.
mash extra and a bowl of potato. Yeah, I can work those sticks. They stuck though.
I'm going to have to try and do this without.
But it's actually pretty cool. It comes in these cast iron plates. On those trays, you don't dare touch your plate. There's Alilandi. She got
I like
steak
the sizzle.
pieces. And
And Ilandi can smile. She has also steak pieces.
yeah, Asian food fusion confusion. There we go. Whenever you cook
Yeah.
out. There we go. I got them
Better
loose.
loosen
I
that
got
up
them
a bit.
loose. But it's hard holding the camera and trying to work the sticks at the same time because doggy dude with the specs and the streamlined mustache. I think it's DVD. Dodgy dude.
And there we go. The last one.
But it seems to be a thing that when you go there, you cook your own food usually. There's a lot of barbecue places, and when you go to a buffet place, you usually
That's
like
what
the
it looks
buffet is
like.
raw. But there we go, and it's got all these papers around it.
Cook
You get it on the
yourself pepper
cast
lunch.
iron plate. And I'm not too sure if it's Korean or Japanese. I have a funny feeling it's Japanese, this one. But yeah, there's everyone with their plates, and
We are done. Well, not Divan.
Divan spooning away. We should be with the sticks, dude. Sticks, Divan.
Burp.
Yeah.
There we go. When it's all done. Thank you. Akon. Thank you. Susan. Bye. Thank you. Akon. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye. And there we
Just
go.
to give you an idea of what the
These
menu
all the
looks like.
dishes that we had. It was lovely. Thank you very much.
And then they
No,
suggested
no.
I show you in the window. They have, and a lot of the restaurants have this over here. Most of them have their plates built up in plastic. So you can see what the food looks like.
Pepper rice.
Pepper rice, salmon pepper rice.
Salmon pepper.
Oh, look like chicken.
Chicken pepper. This is what I had now. It's like steak bits. This is bits and chicken. And this is what Ina had. Was the pepper steak.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. She had that. That was nice.
Beef suki kapni. No, suki yaki. Beef egg
Yeah,
yolk.
splatter
Much
blocker,
better. I'll
yeah.
find that next time.
Also helps you not to put your wrists on your plate. Yeah, many restaurants
What's it?
over there
Suki
have,
kaki. But yeah, and that's lunch at Pepper Express. Everyone off to our favorite store again, Mr. DIY.
there it goes. Let's take you out there. Right, so yeah. Can't complain about the cook there because you're your own damn cook over there. But yeah, all over the place here, when you go to different restaurants and that, they usually have the dishes made up in plastic like that, and then you can actually see what they want to it. Aeon Mall, all over the place. Aeon Mall has a huge food area, and then usually you can see what your food's sort of going to look like, so you can actually take a a general snapshot of what's going to hit your table. Although I quite like Pepper Lounge because they make pretty good food. I like corn first of all, and they usually put corn with everything. They put a nice rice with it. You get to cook your own food. I love that sizzling food, and what they put on your plate is actually what's in the picture. It's a big size. You usually see these pictures, this big hamburger with this like huge juicy piece of patty hanging out of it with mushrooms and onions and gherkins and everything, and then you get the hamburger. Not the hamburger, you get the hamburger. Flight lice, yeah. Flight lice with many other supplies. Good life, yeah. We don't live the life as well as what you do there, Hendo. We don't do pound sterling. We actually earn dollars, yeah. And then we're fortunate for that because the actual currency is real. So a lot of people are playing in reals, but fortunately at school we end up doing paying in dollars, and the dollar still works here. They are trying de-dollaration, yeah, as well, but we still can use dollar as a currency. My bank account is still in dollars as well. I cannot withdraw anything less than $100 at the bank. You've got to go into the bank to make it into smaller change. They don't use the $2, and I think the $5 been moved out as well. So it's usually $10, $20, $50, and $100 that you can actually use here. And if you actually pay with the currency, yeah, they usually give you real in change. So, and then, if you walk up to somebody with a $50, it's like, no, we don't have change, because $50 is in real. What's 4,000 times 50? If I look here, so I give you a $50, I've given you 203,150 real, and I buy a dollar's cool drink, or say I buy $1 cool drink from you. That means it's 4,000. So I've got to give you change, 199,000 real change, and everyone's like, so they're not too. What's the name? Pass the pepper. Hachu. Yeah, I love my pepper, by the way. What if you don't eat peppers? No, there's no. I think DVD found peppers in these, but otherwise there weren't peppers. But it's Pepper's Lounge. Yeah, indeed. So we're talking about things. I'm a little bit behind on my city church as well at the moment. So I was actually watching one of the old ones this morning when we had our quiet time. And chatting about people and things. What's it? Even $50 in the $50 in SA is decent money. Yeah, it is. $50 in SA is a decent money. One of these days I'm going to be working otherwise, Rons. Another hint drop, but we'll see how the future goes before I say anything more. But yeah, I did have another video. I'd have to put it onto my. I took my dogs for a ride in a doggy cage. They were not impressed. Let me put it across there. And I can show you my dogs in a doggy cage. But I'm doing some talking on there, so I'm going to take my sound off it. But I can show you the pups went for a ride. Nice long ride. $50 in SA is decent, yeah. No, that is the nice thing. Is SA does. Oh, it's still going through. I'm like, flipping, where is it? Still going through. $50 goes a long way. What's it? $50 in SA? It's a lot of money. Now, this is what I'm saying. $50 doesn't sound much. I went for my arm. My arm cost me something like $350. And then I had to go back another three times afterwards. It's another $150. Worked me out to about $520 altogether. But $50 in SA, and the reason I'm looking down is I have a converter on my phone over here. But $50 in SA is 904 Rand at the moment. So basically, the first time I went for my arm, it cost me what, 350? So when they did the cutting and the draining and everything, 6,300 Rand. Bam, thank you very much. And altogether was $520, 9,400 Rand. It sounds freaking ridiculous when you actually look at it that way. Why is my picture not going through? Okay, let's put the Wi-Fi on and see if it'll work now. But it's absolutely, yeah. Pound is a pound. I can tell you, I do have pounds on here as well. The pound will run at a $50. Will give you, no, it can't be. Yeah, 40 pounds gives you $50. If you had 50 pounds, it'll give you $62, 18 cents. So yeah, if I had to save $520, cost me 418 pounds for my arm. I stopped counting. It's absolutely madness. My $2,300 was my operation last year, not this year, previous year. 41,597 if you had to look at it in Rand. And then I was in the Bronx hospital. You know, there was no nursing station. It was like a chicken on the other side. You walked to the operating room by yourself, placed your ass on there by yourself, carried your own drip, and that is basically how you got to. Let's update my Telegram. How you got there, but yeah, there we go. It's come through now. What did we look at? Yeah, 22.50. There we go. To the Rand. It's mad. That's why I say South Africa is still a very inexpensive place, because if you're working in pounds and you're working in dollars, it's like Cambodia. It's pretty inexpensive. But because the earning rate in South Africa is so low, they haven't upped the income and the salaries there. So they treat you in the same way as what our local Cambodian people pay in a low rate. I mean, let me put it to you this way. For a cashier at 6 days a week in a store, you can earn $250 a month. And that is, you've got to find really, really cheap sharing accommodation, because accommodation here for a single single bedroom apartment, furnished apartment, it's about $400 a month. It's very bad to switch it over to rands, because that's 7,234 Rand a month. I have my little place, which costs me considerably more. I'm not going to tell you what I pay for it, but it does. So that's so you can just imagine, if I set you $250 a month, that's 4,500 Rand for 6 days a week as a cashier. As a manager, you're probably earning about $500-600. Let's put it on $600, about 10,000 Rand a month. And then you're working 6 days a week, or usually sometimes only 2 days a week off. And that's usually till sometimes like 8-9 o'clock at night. I was looking the other day, they were looking for a quantity surveyor. And noted, I don't know what company it was for, whatever, but that was for $900 a month. Now, you know, quantity surveyor is a pretty learned position. That works out to 16,277 Rand a month. So if you're looking at the local incomes, it's still got quite a way to go, although the economy is growing. I think the economy in Cambodia is growing faster than the economy in South Africa, sadly. And this is why I say the income, your cost of things is not expensive, except for your data. It's ridiculous, and your electricity is stupid. But your income's a problem in South Africa. It's a big problem, and that's why I think, Enda, you'll agree with me if you say to be able to help someone in South Africa, you need to be out of South Africa. Otherwise, you've got to be some real big shot, sneaky CEO somewhere along the line. What's Arbot says, I stopped counting 17K for my back, includes a new bed though. That is madness. That is absolute madness. I mean, where do people get that kind of money these days? I mean, you're struggling to make it through the month. The old SA rand was stronger than at one stage it was. Yeah, I mean, in the 80s and that, they used to run 1-to-1. You'd get $1. You could, if it was going to cost you $700 to go overseas, you would pay 700 rand to go overseas. Yeah, it's crazy, absolutely crazy. Debbie says when she lived in the US, it was 1-to-2. We could handle that still. 1-to-2 is not too bad. There we go. White Zulu's got it for us. Thanks, Fiona. 1988, the rand was equal to the pound. How's that? And now, £1 is 22 rand 50. You worked out. I think. Let me just go back. You worked out. Yeah, 22 rand 50. £1. It's mad. So if you have £1,000, you have 22,500 rand. How's that? £60, 1,000 rand. There we go. Boom. As I said to you, I couldn't believe it. Sounds better when I say to you, it cost me $500 for my arm, than saying to you it cost me over 6,000 rand for my arm, because that just doesn't comprehend. When you come to Cambodia and you start working in dollars, it is very bad to try and work into rands, because you will scare the hell out of yourself. You work in rands, you convert back to rands while we got here, and we only had rands, then we would convert it back to rands. But we would never do anything, pay anything, or want to buy anything if we were converting everything back into rands. It would be an absolute ludicrous frenzy. There we go. Watson, it says £60 is 1,100 rand. Tank of petrol. Yeah, it's a tank of petrol. SA economy has not grown for the last 10 years. Sadly not. And this is why I said to you, the SA economy did not go down from 1994. Now I'm going to politics. Sorry, move over, Ronaldo. It's my turn. Move over. Mind. Shop. Zach. My turn to talk politics. The SA economy did not go down from 1994. In actual fact, SA economy went up from 1994. Up to 2015, the SA economy was stronger, much stronger than what its economy was in 1994 in 2015. In 2015, they ousted Mbeki because Mandela was able to hold it and Mbeki was able to hold. And I'm busy, and this is, I'm getting out of my books that I'm reading in that as well. And they were able to hold the state coffers closed without having to give too much details and everything. They were able to keep the state coffers closed without letting out all the money so that your economy could build. And in 2015, the economy in South Africa was stronger than what it was in 1994. But in 2015, Zumagate, and they kicked out, I'm not too sure who the finance minister was then. They kicked him out, and Zooms and his buddies came in, and they opened those coffers. They just let money fly. That's when cadres started putting in, or would they call them, what's that embarrassing word? Comrades would start putting money in all over the place. And that is when your economy just went down the toilet. Your economy did not start dropping from 1994. Your economy started dropping viciously. So they have not managed to crash this economy so badly in, 94, 2004, 2000. In 20 years, they have not managed to crash this economy. They've managed to do this in 7 years. Imagine what they will do in 20 years is my question. What's Debbie say? I put £50 in on Monday, only half a tank in my car. Good grief. Henda says around 1983, SA Rand was worth 13 cents, stronger than the US dollar. Yes, it was. There was a time when it actually exceeded the US dollar. So what happened? Yeah, it's bad management by the government. And as I say, everyone says, well, you managed to crash us in 20 years. No, you did not manage to crash us in 20 years. You managed to crash us in 7 years. That's what they did. So that is the scary part. If you think it took 20 years to throw our economy away, think again if I tell you that it took 7 years to throw our economy away. ANC happened. There we go. Sanctions, ANC communist criminals. Sanctions really crashed us a bit because that started throwing us a bit as well. Same as what they're doing to Ukraine and Russia at the moment with the Ukraine war. And I always say, is there a story behind the story? Because somewhere in the US, they always need a war. They just pushed out 320 million rands arms assist to the Ukrainians the other day. And I'm just going, like, the USA does not take part in, encourage, or push a war unless it's in their own benefit. And definitely it's in their benefit because it's diminishing Russia at this very time and moment. So, I mean, there you can see what the Russia has, and there you can also diminish Russia at this very time. And then you also get the sanctions, which in general is exactly what Henda was saying. Push the when you start pushing sanctions and that, it tolls the economy. Yeah, when Zuma came in, Mandela held it. Mbeki was a very good president, actually, and he held it too. And him and I think it was Tito. I'm not too sure. I think it was before Tito even. Debbie, I'm not too sure. I'd have to go back. Otherwise, I'd sit here and lie to you. I'll ask Ronaldo. No, I'm kidding. But all I know is these people have done this not in 20 years. The frightful, the absolutely terrifying thing is that they've done this in 7 years, not 20 years. So if you'd like to still give them a 20-year span, you're giving them a lot of credit for their destruction. They've caused this destruction in 7 years. In 2015, there was not an inch, not a cinch in electricity. Your electricity price was less than half of what it is now. You could still keep head above water, and you could still earn decently, and you could still feel, I would say, relatively safer than what you feel now. Just think back, because many people are very, very easy and quick to say, yeah, from 1994, pre-94. No. From 1994, things were still held well. Yes, there were changes that we're going through, and there were teething problems that we went through. And there were obviously a little bit of chomping at the bit, but there was not the absolute chaos that occurred from 2015. I left SA in 1999. I had to come back to the UK every 6 months for 4 years. That was when I noticed how fast the economy was plummeting. Yep. Worse than the 7-year itch. Yeah, no, the 7-year stitch. Zuma, Gupta's, and I don't know. It's everyone to please himself, but I don't think Ramaphosa has done a good job either. I think he's unfortunately just one of the dirty ones. Debbie says, in the 80s, we had worse sanctions, yet the rand was stronger than the dollar. It was before the main sanctions. I think when those sanctions started coming in hard and fast, I think that is when we started losing, what's the names? And then you started like 5-6 rand to the dollar type of thing. When they started putting in hard sanctions, we started feeling it, unfortunately. And they did it blindly. The 90s was decent, yeah. You know what? People don't think of it. People just automatically go, 1994, turned around, and we got all this crap. 1994 was a turnaround for South Africa. There was big changes in South Africa. And there were changes that had to be made for the good in South Africa. I'm never going to deny that that was not there. But the country was still managed to a certain extent with a, how should I say, a certain amount of intellect. and a certain amount of control. And then everything just went dirty. And honestly, as I said, your economy was stronger. I'm not saying your currency. Your currency has always been a little bit difficult, but it hasn't plummeted as much as what it did in the last 7 years. I mean, I remember in 2000, 2001, 2002, we were sitting at 8 Rand, 10 Rand. And then, of course, we had a big spike that pushed us to 12 Rand to the dollar. And we went, wow, what the hell's happening? And I remember our CEO still said, Tony Faree said, you know what, if we can stick to 8 Rand to the dollar, it's a good point to be at. And well, we're sitting at 18 Rand to the dollar. So the food prices, one basket costs the same as a trolley the next 6 months later. Yeah, that's the sad part is because the minute electricity goes up, the minute food goes up, so does, and the minute fuel goes up, so does food. Sorry, the minute electricity goes up, fuel goes up, everything goes up because overhead costs go up, transport costs go up. Who takes the brunt of it? In the end, the people who are having to transport food, to cultivate food, to actually manufacture food, their overheads go up. So what do? They charge more for their product. Who ends up carrying the brunt of that? Not them. They push their prices up to, obviously, like any decent businessman would, cover their overheads. You push your price up. I mean, when school books start costing you, instead of 50 Rand a book, and it's starting to cost you 70 Rand a book, what are you going to do? You're pushing and you got to get 10 books. You're pushing the school fees up by 200 Rand. You're not going to carry that. And who pays it in the end? La parent. The shop has a lettuce. The lettuce used to cost 1 Rand, and then it came into the shop at 1 Rand 50, and they charged you 2 Rand a lettuce. Now fuel and electricity and water and everything and security and all of that comes by. And now that lettuce is costing 10 Rand a lettuce. It lands in the store at 15 Rand and they charge you 20 Rand for the lettuce. Pretty simple mathematics and Maslow's hierarchy of survival, never mind needs. Yeah, what we used to walk out with trolleys were, I mean, I used to be able to budget 1,000 Rand a month for groceries. I don't think I can walk out with a packet. Henda, 1 ounce of Kruger Rand costs about 40,000 Rand. That is mad. UK is holding, but fortunately your currency is strong, and I don't know, your government is still okay. I don't know. Your new president hasn't made a fool of himself yet, that I'm aware of. Ban scrap metal dealers and make it null for copper. You're going to put a lot of people out of work in the process, and copper carries a value. If you devalue copper, then what's going to happen in the long run? You're going to then, in the end, you're going to indirectly drop your economy. So copper's got to carry a value, and a value is going to carry a resale value, and that is why they end up stealing the cables and the wires, because there's a value for copper. And if you take it off board, what happened when they took cigarettes off in South Africa, when they took it off the shelves and they said you can't buy anymore, which was the biggest load of rubbish under the sun? The black market thrived. Then when they brought it back again, it was more expensive because now they had to claw back their losses. And guess what else they had to claw back was the loss in keeping customers, because the customer suddenly realized that the guy around the corner is still getting his cigarettes on the black market, and it's still costing me far less to go around the corner and go and buy it from up the road than what it is to go and buy it legally in a supermarket store. So guess what? Not only did they lose money on the non-seller cigarettes, the black market thrived. The illegal market or whatever. I don't want to call it black market. I'll probably get shot for that, but what I'm saying is the illegal market thrived with it. And it stayed bigger, because you ended up, even when it became legal again, you still had a whole chunk staying there. So take copper away, bam, you've automatically devalued your economy, and you've created a huge gap in the legal black market, and it's going to thrive. You take a look at those minings. What do they call them? kukas or whatever. I mean, it's just been thriving. I know of people who like buying little packets of diamonds. You could buy into a packet of diamonds, and they bought in like, oh, I'll buy 500 rand now, and I'll get like 2,000 rand back for it, or 3,000 rand back for it in a month or two's time, because I was buying into it all the time. Next thing I saw, the guy that was actually heading this up was under investigation with Zuma. Illegal. Nothing is easy in this world. Load shedding is killing jobs badly. Yes, because it's creating higher overheads. Because there's no maintenance been done. There's no maintenance been done because there's no money for maintenance. There's no money for maintenance because the government opened their coffers and they just started spending and pocketing left, right, and center. And this is why I say this damage has been done. If you were busy consoling yourself and said 20 years, you have a big, big mistake on your hands. This has been trashed in 7 years. Imagine what they can do in another 7 if they stay in power. That is the biggest problem I have. It's an absolute terrifying thought to think it's not 20 years. It's less than half of that amount of years that they've done there. We've got a King Charles fat sausage fingers for all the royal jesters. A deputy prime minister resigned. Okay, I'm not Chris, so I don't know all of these things. I don't even know South Africa that much. I'm busy just, as I said, with a book. Create a bigger demand in the black market. Yep. And then you are getting the cartels. And these guys have got cartels. I mean, you heard what Andre de Ruyter said. Eskom's problems are not by the ordinary man in the street. They've got cartels running these things. They are telling you what's going where. And if you speak against it, they have an assassin who's going to bump you. These is organized crime. Do you think cigarettes doesn't run under organized crime? Cigarettes that get brought in under the radar is not brought in by the man around the corner from you. He gets his couple of cartons from these guys who make their money. They bring in the truckloads of them, and they bring them in under cartel. What's it? There we go. Those mines are called Zamazamas. Thank you very much, Debbie. So Andre, watch Gold Mafia on Al Jazeera English channel. Okay, I don't get Al Jazeera. I used to. It's a very good news channel. Don't watch it. So, but sadly, but Al Jazeera is a very good news channel, by the way. I liked it. I don't know what that is for, Hendo. YouTube, is that for Al Jazeera as well? Is that the part of Al Jazeera? Gold Mafia, is that? Oh, thank you. See link for part 1 above for Gold Mafia. There we go on YouTube. Guys, Hendo's linked it there. I will definitely go and take a look-see as well. I don't really want to politicize my channel, but sometimes I think it's what's hurting people a bit in the process as well. There we go, Hendo. You're a star. As long as you're not a disaster, you're okay. Okay, you've got it. The Al Jazeera on YouTube. Thank you. It's another Indian channel now. Okay, my dog video came through. I just thought. Let me end off with happiness here. Guys, something that I did see that I actually just wanted to mention. I was watching one of Coral City Churches earlier, and I was actually looking at, was it the one today? I think it was the one earlier. But anyway, the bottom line that I was looking at is pooches. Yeah, we've got to end with pooches, dude. We've got to end with pooches. Even if they don't sing, I've got to show them to you. I was actually taking the video for someone else, but I can't play the sound because my talking will give away too much. So, yeah. But I was talking to someone, I was watching this thing, and I thought to myself, it's so true. Because basically they were talking about the fact that, you know, you pray the hardest when you hit, pardon my French, when you hit the shit, you pray the hardest. That is when you're going to start praying, and that is when you're going to ask anybody for help, whether it be Allah, flippin', Khalil, whoever, God. You start praying to everyone that you know, just in case someone's out there to help you or whatever. But you are going to pray the hardest. But otherwise, you are not in communication with anybody at all. You just, you tend to reach out when needed. And actually, I think Carl was talking about Daniel in the lion's den. And he's talking about the fact that, in a long story short, I know that you guys all watch City Church, so you've probably all seen this already. Yeah, right. Anyway, but you know that he had a life of prayer. He communicated every single day. It was a normal communication. When the decree came out that you cannot ask or pray or worship or anything to that effect anymore for at least 30 days, you got to stop it. And it was just so normal for him. And that's how he ended up in the lion's den. But he wasn't too perturbed about it because he continued his normal. And he was helped normally because it was a norm. How many of us actually have friends? Because, you know, especially in tough times, it's very, very important that we have friends around to share good times and bad times. So often, and I'm a very, very big problem with this because I always don't want to bother anyone. You know, if everything's going well, I don't want to bother you. So I actually don't keep contact with you in the best way. You know what? I mean well, but I'm not contacting you at all. But when there's trouble, you know what? There's trouble over here. We always, you've got that friend who's always, you never hear from him unless he doesn't have money. You never hear from him unless he's got nobody to come and have a drink with. Or you never hear from him until his car's broken down, or his clothes need mending, or something's wrong. Then you'll hear from them, but you'll never get to share. Don't be the person who doesn't share the good times with others as well. Always remember to communicate every day. Keep your communication channels, whether it's with your God, with your friends, or the people around you and people closest to you. It's really, really important that your communication actually brings you closer and doesn't suddenly make you a problem where you're actually jumping up and down on a hot stove, and only when you get burnt, you suddenly start learning to shout out and say, I need help. Yeah, there we go. When it hits the fan. But yeah, raise your hand on the good days and the bad days. Yeah, you know what? That's why people raise their hands in church. And I don't want to become a minister now, but we're not prepared to read our bit. We're not prepared to say our prayer. But I'm telling you, we suddenly learn to pray better than a preacher when we're in trouble. And then we wonder why things don't come right because we're kind of not believing it. And then there's that other little thing called free will you were given. You know, and so if I'm going to get myself into it, hopefully you'll get me out of it. You know, you've always got that friend who gets themselves into something, although you've told them not to. And then you've got to be the one getting them out. So all I'm going to say before I actually give you my pooches to show you, I was going to take them on a bit of a trip, but they're learning to take a trip in their basket at the moment. And here we go. And a quick shot of the house from the outside with the missus standing there. But I will show you. And they were all massively excited. But unfortunately, I'm not going to play sound with this one. They're all ready and not very, very chuffed being in their little box over there. It's their little travel box. We had to go a long way. We went to get my tablets at a chemist. And we decided, we'll take them with for the ride. But you get to go in a riding cage if you're going to climb into a car. You can't just jump all over the car. And yeah, they new experience. That's just the front yard. And the house, the missus of the house. The bikes were fetched today, so the missus is very happy. Yeah, you walk with those little ones, they're tired after a few steps. They want to ride. They want to ride. And they've just been bathed. As you can see, they've got no collars. There we go. Lie down. Lie down. Look like prisoners. Look like prisoners. You're not in the lion's den. There we go. But yeah, that was them ready for their ride. And that's the pooch shot for the day. Thank you very, very much for your support, your tuning in, your wonderful chat. Yeah, currency's a bugger to work with. Sometimes we have more than what we know, but the problem is the income is always not so great. But remember to stick around with your friends always, because in good times and in bad times, it's important that you're present, you know, so that people know you and you know people. and you're a burden when you're not around always. You're not a burden when you have a problem. And that's the important thing to remember. Nobody's ever a burden. Usually you help out people. You end up being the one to help out. But it's so important that you help people out. Like we helped the little pooches into their cage to go on a dog. So people push their dogs around in baby pushchairs. Yeah. No, I wasn't going to do the pushchair thing. But you take them for a walk. But yeah. Hendo, thank you very much for a lacquer stream as well, guys. You are all absolutely wonderful, out of this world people that I am so pleased to have with me every Sunday, even when I actually do end up with promising you over 3 or 4 weeks to take the school video, which I really, really need to take. When I wake up in the morning, I have this like one track mind is like, get dressed, get showered, and you get to school. And I think, I never took a shot. tomorrow, and I'm telling you, I'm starting with exams again tomorrow. So between now and end of June, you are going to have to cocaine bear with me. Talking about that, we last thing I watched was The Recruit. Not bad, leaves you hanging on the edge, but we'll chat about it next week. Be good, be friends, take care, and remember, if you can't be good, at least be kind. Cheers.